After my second child, I developed a little bit of postpartum depression, but it was later on, and I didn't understand that I had it. And that's when I decided to kind of self-medicate, and I started drinking. And then luckily, I got pregnant again, and I stopped drinking immediately and had my beautiful third daughter. And then shortly thereafter, I had postpartum again, but it hit me a lot harder. I self-medicated with alcohol. I ended up going to my doctor and, telling him everything that was going on. And so he prescribed antidepressant for me, but at that time, I was still self-medicating with alcohol, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I didn't understand why I could feel so empty when I had such a wonderful, loving family. I had 3 beautiful girls, a loving husband, and it was just, it just had overcome me. It consumed me. One afternoon, I had called my husband to tell him that I needed help. That phone call was the hardest thing for me to do, but it was the first step for me in the right direction. Then I went to a treatment center for 30 days. And while there, I started kind of learning the process of what alcoholism is and the disease of what it really is. After my 30 days there, I was like, okay, I've got this. And I got home and relapsed about 2 weeks. I didn't understand why. Why did I keep going back to something that I knew wasn't helping me, that wasn't the answer? And I would bawl, all night long, but then I'd get up in the morning and do it all over again. And it got worse and worse, and the depression just kept growing. I didn't know who I was. I felt like I had no purpose in life. I was just a human, just there, breathing, taking up air. At one point, I decided that life wasn't worth living anymore. I tried to commit suicide. God was not calling me home at that time, and he absolutely saved my life at that point. My husband, he planned an intervention for me. I woke up that morning and just had this gut feeling that something was going on. And my husband was there, and my parents were there, and my in-laws were there. They set me down and were like, Marian, we've got to do something. This isn't working. This is not you. You're lost. That day, I got in the car and went down to Austin, and I did a detox center for a week. I got moved over to a treatment facility in Fredericksburg. Everything was going well. I thought, okay, I can do this. I can do another 30 days. I will get it this time. And then I learned that I had been signed up for 90 days. And then following that was another 90 days at sober living. I lost it. I was like, there is no way I'm going to miss Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. There's no way I'm doing it. And I remember writing letters home to the girls saying, Mommy is gonna be home for Christmas. I was so defiant at that time because it was what I wanted to do. And it was all about me. It was not about my family. It was about me and what I wanted. The program, the 12-step program, I didn't realize was very much a religious, spiritual program. I'd always been a Christian and everything, but I never fully understood the importance of a personal relationship with God. I realized that that's the only way that I could live, is to have that personal relationship with God and just grow it as much as I could. It was very difficult, but it was that time that I was able to just really focus on myself. For once in my life, just focus on myself and what was important to me. I finished my 90 days in treatment. I went straight into sober living in Fort Worth and did 90 days there, which was hard. It was hard having to, leave home, spending time with the girls, and then going to live at another house. And they didn't understand why, but they knew that mommy was getting better and that mommy was coming back around. And that was the most important part, and the best thing was to see their smiles on their faces, that they could really see their mom again. So I finished my 90 days in sober living and then moved back in at home, and it's like just a breath of fresh air. It was like reliving again. It's like I was alive and I had a purpose and a reason for being alive. There's no way that I could have done any of this. I learned that I am not in control at all. No matter how much I thought I was in control, God is the only one that has allowed me to get sober, to stay sober. I don't believe in coincidences anymore. There's certain reasons He puts things, He has that master plan, and He puts them in motion. And that goes into saying why I decided to get baptized on Easter Sunday. I started attending Trinity Bible Church when I got back from treatment. It's like these little hints kept coming up and kept poking at me, and I would be bawling during Sunday sermons because it's like it was just moving me. Like I could feel my heart just pulling at me, and God pulling at me, being like, you know what, Marian, it's time to make that next step. I contacted Pastor Sherm and talked to him about it, and I got baptized a day after 1 year of being home, the anniversary of being home. Being able to live life now is amazing, and being grateful for life is amazing. The peace of this world is not comparable to what the Lord, the peace that He gives me. He is the one that quiets me. He's the one that fills me. And the peace that God gives you there's no way to explain it. That freedom that you feel in your heart and the calmness that you feel is like no other. Once you totally surrender your heart and you lay everything down in front of Him and just say, God, I just give it all to you because I can't do anything. I am nothing without you. It's the best feeling. Like I said, that freedom of pressure of anything going on in the world is lifted.